Somebody writes, the dialogue between the villains was so painful. I thought maybe they were cartoonish, but I realize irrational people in real life do sound that awful. Yeah, I mean, I think people often read the villains and go, oh, nobody actually talks like this. Nobody said. And then you read Paul Krugman, or you read worse, you read some of these anti-racist, or you read White Fragility, or you read the postmodernists, or you read anything coming out of our university, not anything, but a lot of things coming out of universities, and you go, yep, that's exactly how they sound. And, you know, sometimes headlines in New York Times, it's like straight out of Atlas Shrugged. Straight out of the so-called cartoonish characters in Atlas Shrugged. But no, the bad guys are really, really bad. And the amazing thing is, she gets them in 1957. And today they speak exactly like they did in Atlas Shrugged. I'm sure there were intellectuals in 1957 that spoke like that. But I think more than that, she knew where these ideas were heading. She knew what these ideas really meant. And she put stylized language into the conversations. What these ideas, if they took them seriously, what they would actually imply. And of course, over time, that's exactly what has happened. Exactly what has happened. So I find when I read Atlas Shrugged again, how her villains are so modern. Her villains are so 21st century.
And to begin with, I wonder if I can ask you to capsulize. I know this is difficult. Can I ask you to capsulize your philosophy? What is Randism?
First of all, I do not call it Randism, and I don't like that name. I call it Objectivism.
All right.
Meaning a philosophy based on objective reality. Now let me explain it as briefly as I can. First, my philosophy is based on the concept that reality exists as an objective absolute. That man's mind, reason, is his means of perceiving it. And that man needs a rational morality. I am primarily the creator of a new code of morality which has so far been believed impossible, namely a morality not based on faith.
On faith?
Not on faith, not on arbitrary whim, not on emotion, not on arbitrary edict, mystical or social, but on reason. A morality which can be proved by means of logic, which can be demonstrated to be true and necessary.
All right. All right.
Now, may I define what my morality is?
All right.
Because this is merely an introduction. My morality is based on man's life as a standard of value. And since man's mind is his basic means of survival, I hold that if man wants to live on earth and to live as a human being, he has to hold reason as an absolute, by which I mean that he has to hold reason as his only guide to action, and that he must live by the independent judgment of his own mind, that his highest moral purpose is the achievement of his own happiness, and that he must not force other people, nor accept their right to force him, that each man must live as an end in himself and follow his own rational self-interest.
May I?
All right, before we go on, reminder, please like the show. We've got 163 live listeners right now, 30 likes. That should be at least 100. I figure at least 100 of you actually like the show. Maybe there are like 60 of the Matthews out there who hate it. But at least the people who are liking it, you know, I want to see a thumbs up. There you go. Start liking it. I want to see that go to 100. All it takes is a click of a thing, whether you're looking at this. And you know, the likes matter. It's not an issue of my ego. It's an issue of the algorithm. The more you like something, the more the algorithm likes it. So, you know, and if you don't like the show, give it a thumbs down. Let's see your actual views being reflected in the likes. But if you like it, don't just sit there. Help get the show promoted. Of course, you should also share. And you can support the show at JeronBrookShow.com/support, or on Patreon or Subscribestar or Locals. and show your support for the work, for the value, hopefully, you're receiving from this. And of course, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, even if you just come here to troll, or even if you're here like Matthew to defend Marx, then you should subscribe, because that way you'll know when to show up. You'll know what shows are on, when they're on. You'll get notified, right? So, yes, like, share, subscribe, support. Like, share, subscribe, support. There you go. Easy. Do one or all of those, please.